Shea-Mergency, trust the healing. Wait and see will help you feel the shea.
So hey y'all, hey, it's Gigi with Shea-Mergency, and today it's going to be an educational video regarding the different situations that you can get into, adverse situations that you can get into with your skin, most of which you are familiar with, some of which you may not be familiar with, but we're just going to go over those things so that you can have a better knowledge base of what they are and how to deal with them, and why Shea-Mergency products are so effective with your adverse conditions. So the very first one is acne. Acne, pretty much everybody is familiar with. It is clogged pores that lead to pimples, blackheads, whiteheads. It comes from oil, dirt, and grime. It comes from bacteria. It can be hormonal, especially at times of puberty when you have high hormones, and inflammation. One thing I would like to note here is with acne, a lot of skincare ingredients have a comedogenic score. So they're either non-comedogenic or comedogenic. And when the closer they get to the non-comedogenic spectrum, they are less likely to clog your pores. If they are more comedogenic, then they are more likely to clog your pores. So most of Shea-Mergency's products, I'm very aware and astute to checking on whether or not they are comedogenic or non-comedogenic. So we use the ones that are as least comedogenic as possible because we don't want anyone's skin pores to be clogged. So therefore, Shea-Mergency is very effective with people who have acne problems. Okay. Number 2 is folliculitis. Folliculitis is very, very common, and it is infected hair follicles that's caused by tight clothing, friction on your skin. I wrote a lot of this down so I wouldn't forget. Shaving. It can be caused by yeast, fungus, bacteria, and also mites. That's nasty. But folliculitis is very common. And it also can be caused by abrasions, abrasive cleansers, or cleansing your skin a little too harshly. So that's folliculitis, infected hair follicles. Number 3, keratosis pilaris. I might be saying it wrong, pilaris, I'm not sure. But keratosis is when keratin, it plugs and blocks the follicles. And it kind of shows up like goosebumps. So it becomes really, really hard and creates like a rough texture. It's very common on the buttocks, on your thighs, and also on the arms. Okay, keratosis. Number 4 is boils. So boils are very common to Shea-Mergency. We have several products that assist with boils. So boils are deeper, infected or pus-filled, areas on the body. It could be I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, furnicles, or I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, but anyway, you know what I mean. Furnicles, something like that. Anyway, that's multiple hair follicles that are infected, and then the surrounding skin. Then you also have carbuncles, which is a cluster of boils, right? So they're deeper, they're pain-filled, they have like from what I hear from my clients, customers rather, more of a deeper burning like sensation. It's a weird sensation that it's just hard to describe, they say. But we have products that help with that, and they notice when it's gone how relieving it feels, but it's really hard to explain. But yes, those are boils. All right, number 5 is contact dermatitis. So that's an allergic reaction or an irritation to the skin that may come from like chemical soaps. Let's see, wipes. Oh, and I thought this was really interesting, and fabrics, right? So wipes. So the wipes that you get at the store, they have a preservative, and it's a really, really long name. It's called methyl lysthiozolinone. Listen, if it has more than 8 letters, it probably ain't going on my skin. You feel me? But it's very, very long. A chemical preservative, they said it's commonly given, people have a common reaction to it and are allergic to it. So just FYI, that was really interesting to me. So that's contact dermatitis. It's an allergic reaction or irritation to the skin that comes from chemicals like soaps, wipes, fabrics, things of that nature. So number 6 is Hidradenitis Suppurativa or Hidradenitis Suppurativa, commonly known as HS. This one is very interesting to me because I hadn't heard a lot about it, even being a nurse. But I learned about it from doing Shea-Mergency and my customers coming to me saying, hey, this worked for my HS. It was so new to me and it was so interesting, and I did a lot of studying on it. So Hidradenitis suppurativa is basically, it causes painful, deep bumps or deep abscesses in the body, and sometimes they tunnel and they cause a web of scars. As they heal, a lot of times they're very painful and they're very uncomfortable for people. A lot of times people can't work behind them, and they're just very painful. And they, you know, the pus that comes out of them, it has a strong odor, very strong odor, and it's just I don't like it. I do not like HS, but I do pray for and I do work hard in researching proper skincare that can help them through this. And so I have several products also that will help you with HS, but I just wanted to give you the general information of what HS is. So number 7 is Staphylococcus aureus. Staphylococcus aureus is an common bacteria that is on the skin, that, you know, resides on the skin. It's on 3 out of every 10 people's skin, and it just kind of sits there. It only becomes a problem when you have like a cut or you know, some type of wound injury for that staph to get in there, and it causes infection that can be very painful, and, you know, just very uncomfortable, causes a lot of pus, things of that nature, causes boils, you know, just all kind of issues. It's just not fun, right? It can be treated with, you know, antibacterial washes on the topical end, and also an antibiotic. Number 8 is shingles and herpes virus. This virus is a very painful, itchy, blistering rash that sits kind of in the nerve endings of your body. The shingles comes from like a dormant chickenpox virus when you were younger. If you've ever gotten chickenpox, if it gets reactivated in your older age, it is shingles, and it is extremely painful. It's very itchy, also swelling, and like I said, very blistering. All right, so a little bit more on shingles. If you have not had chickenpox, you won't get shingles, right? So if you have had chickenpox and it reactivates, it'll reactivate as shingles. If you have shingles, right, and it, you know, one of the blisters, you know, you get that fluid that's in one of the blisters on someone else through direct contact, they will get chickenpox, not shingles. So I just wanted to make that clear. I remember seeing, you know, you get a lot of these commercials on TV that try to advertise and promote their drugs, and they said like it was a very high number of everyone has, you know, this shingles virus inside of their body, and it's like, that's misleading. You know what I'm saying? So if you have had chickenpox, you are susceptible to get, you know, shingles in an older age. It normally shows up in an older age. If you have not had chickenpox, then you won't get shingles. You will, if someone, you know, direct contacts you with the blistering fluid that's on the inside, then you will get chickenpox and not shingles. Okay, so also in number 8, we're going to go over herpes. Herpes simplex 1, and herpes simplex 2. Herpes simplex 1 is the oral herpes that you get, and it shows up, presents as cold sores. Herpes simplex 2 is the genital rash that you would get if you contracted herpes. Herpes is also a virus, It does not, there's no cure for it, and it kind of just sits in the nerve endings. I remember when I learned about it in school, I was like, oh my gosh, it just sits in the nerve endings, and then when it's it's triggered, then you get an outbreak, and that outbreak is blisters, painful, itchy, you know, that's what it is. So Shea-Mergency, we do have things that help with those painful blisters. We have the relief balm, we have ultimate body wash, and from several different people I have gotten, testimonials of how helpful and how necessary it is for them to have ultimate body wash and the relief balm when they do have an outbreak. So if you do have those two different things, then Shea-Mergency has products that can help. All right, number 9 is cellulite. Cellulite is just the dimple texture of the skin. There's nothing infected or wrong with the skin. It's just the physical nature of the skin. So that's cellulite. And number 10 is cellulitis. Cellulitis is a deeper infection of your tissue, your skin. It causes redness, warmth, it's painful, it's swollen, there's fever and a general malaise, which is like a general feeling of just being sick. And that takes antibiotics to help, and sometimes IV antibiotics. So I often used to get the dermatitis and the cellulitis mixed up, but they are different, okay? So dermatitis, remember, that is a contact irritation. Cellulitis is a deep infection of your skin tissue. So that's number 10, and that would be the last one.
Cracks fade fast, that's what we do. Organic and clean, glow coming through. From baby soft to granny's grin, real relief starts deep within. Shea-Mergency, trust the healing. Wait and see, we'll help you feel the shea.